Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video. Today this is another alternate history video, but however, as you can tell by the title, this is alternate history 96 if Bob Dole did 10% better. Now of course I usually do alternate history videos, but they're usually predictions. But this one is, like I said, still alternate history, just if Dole did 10% better in 96. And there has been a couple other YouTubers that have done videos like this. So I decided to do one myself. It's the first time doing one like this, and I thought it'd just be something fun to do. Of course, like I said, '96 was between Dole and Clinton. Jack Kemp was the running mate of Dole. Al Gore, the running mate and incumbent vice president under Clinton. And Dole was kind of seen as a weak candidate when it came to the election. Like his age was an issue. I think he was like 73 or so at the time, kind of around Trump's age when he was elected. Funny enough, and yeah, like I said, age was a big issue in the campaign, and but Dole also was stressing his experience being in D.C. for so long. But Clinton, of course, was tending on being the change candidate, kind of like the 2008 election, change versus experience. So Clinton was able to cruise to a re-election victory. Dole not really having the best charisma and appeal, and that's why Clinton was able to do pretty well, especially in the South where he was from, Arkansas, having a centrist third way appeal. Anyway, like I said, this is if Dole did 10% better in 96. So this is basically if he did 10% better in every state, how would they go? How much of the margin would grow, and what states would he win that he didn't actually win? So getting into it, the states that were safe for him in the actual scenario, as see there was a lot of Mountain West, Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, all of Nebraska, Kansas were all safe for him. Kansas being his home state, so of course they would stay safe here. Uh, Like say one of these states, Wyoming by 13 points, so that'd be like 23 there. It'd be 20, excuse me, 28 in Idaho, 31 in Utah, 40 points in Nebraska. First district would be 22. Second would be 25. And the third would be, like I said, 40, and at large would be 28. So yeah, all these states would say safe, of course, doing 10% better in them. And now we'll get into likely Dole states. Well, actually, I do have to add another safe state. That would be Oklahoma, which won by 7. That would be safe too in this scenario because he won by 17. And I believe another safe state would be North Dakota because then he went by 16 in this scenario. However, South Dakota, I think, would stay likely because, well, actually, no, I think it would be safe because he won by 3, so it would be around 13. If we're going by 10 as a safe margin, which this map does, because you see, as Glenn went by safe in Iowa when he won by 10, so South Dakota would be safe as well, winning by 13. Uh, Now, some of these other states that would be likely, well, it looks like Montana would be pretty safe too, by 12. So you have another one in the Dole column. Colorado would be by 11, so another safe one. Now, if we were going by like 15 being the safe margin, then these states would be likely, but based off how this map is going, like I said, safe would be 10 and over, so that's why I'm categorizing these as safe, even though some people do like 15 as safe, then these would be likely. But based off this map, it would be safe. So I believe that'd be all the at least safe states for Dole. Now, Nevada, well, actually, I keep forgetting. Some of these states in the South would actually be safe too, and I believe Indiana would as well, because it would win about 15. So, yeah, I believe North Carolina, Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina would all be safe. Same with Tennessee, Kentucky, I think. Well, I think Kentucky would actually be likely it would be close to safe, but I think it would be likely in Kentucky, but Tennessee would be safe. Which would be quite surprising considering those scores. Some say which Glenn did win, of course, but if Dole did 10% better, that would be over 10. So it's crazy that Glenn did better in Kentucky. Didn't do as good in Tennessee. Pretty interesting there, but the state of Virginia would be safe too. And so would Georgia. That would be about 11. So the state of Texas as well, 14 points. Now, if I was going by 15 being safe, then like I said, these states would be likely. So I might just do that. I'll go by 15 as being the threshold for safe. So that means Colorado, Texas would be likely, Montana, Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina. I believe, yeah, South would be safe though, 15 points. State of Georgia would be likely. But I believe Alabama and Mississippi would stay safe. Because Alabama would be 17 points and Mississippi would be 15.1 just on the safe margin. So actually, we'll go by 15 being the threshold for safe. And so I believe that makes South Dakota likely because that would be about 13.5. So there's a lot of the likely states. And I think another safe state I forgot here would be Alaska, about 27 points because they won by 17. Nevada would actually be another likely state because you get 52% of the vote, and that'd be close to about 10, so that'd be around 9 or somewhere. So another likely state for Bob Dole. And getting to some other states here. The safe states for Clinton in the real scenario, according to this, was Minnesota. But if we're going by 15 being safe, then Wisconsin was likely. Michigan was also likely. So same with Iowa. The state of Arkansas would stay with Clinton, but it would be in a likely margin. And state of Hawaii, I believe, would still be safe. Be about around 15.3 or so. So, and to some more states here, Minnesota was a 16-point margin. It would be around 6 or 7 in this scenario. So that'd be a likely one for Clinton. The state of Wisconsin would be interesting, but it would be close. Dole would get 48.48, so it would be a tilt margin for Bill Clinton there in Wisconsin, so he still wins it, but barely. The state of Michigan would also stay with him, but it'd be about around 3 points, so a lean margin there for Clinton and Michigan, so he holds on to those states, but by closer margins. The state of Illinois, I believe, would be likely. Was won by 17. It would be around 7 points or so for the president. Let's go to the West Coast here. Washington was won by 12 points. It would be around 2.5 in this scenario. So another lean margin for President Clinton. State of California was also won by 12. That'd be around 2.9 or so. So another lean there in California. So Dole is definitely competitive on the West Coast here, doing 10% better. And the state of Oregon would actually be won by Dole because they get 49.06. That'd be around a couple of points or so. I think that'd be a lean margin for Dole. So pretty interesting there. He wins Oregon, which George W. Bush almost did in 2000. But Dole gets in this scenario doing 10% better. And the state of Alaska here, or excuse me, Arizona, rather, they go for Clinton, but it would be Dole here again, 54% of the vote to 46. So I think that'd be a likely margin or so. So yep, another win for Dole there. And The state of New Mexico went to Clinton. Dole get around 51% of the vote, so it'll be kind of close, but it went about a point or two. I think it'd be about like 1.3 or so, or 2.3, but I think that'd be lean there for Dole. So getting into more of the Midwest here, the state of Iowa would be close, but I believe it would stick with Clinton because Dole would get 49.92% of the vote. So I think that'd be like a tilt margin in Iowa, very narrowly, just like Wisconsin. The state of Missouri went for Clinton. That would go for Dole, though, in a lean margin, getting 51% of the vote. And the state of Louisiana went for Clinton as well. Only be by about 2.1, though, here. So a lean margin for Clinton, so he goes on to Arkansas, Louisiana, but by reduced margins. The state of West Virginia, another Clinton state, would stick with him by about 4 points. So another lean margin there for Bill. Let's get into Northeast here in New York. I believe it stays safe in this scenario. Not surprisingly, even though that was Kemp's home state, but it would be about 18 points or so over Dole, so still a safe margin there in New York. Vermont, however, would be interesting. I think that would be likely because it would be about 12 points. So reduced to a likely margin there in Vermont, pretty interestingly. New Hampshire, however, would be close, but I'll get back to that. I think all of Maine would say likely because I actually did practice before making this video which states would go which way so I could make the video go by faster. And I already did the math pretty much of 11 points or so in Maine at large, or Maine second rather. Maine at large would be around 10. Maine's first would also be around 10, so it would all stay likely for Clinton there and all of Maine. State of Massachusetts, I believe, would stay safe, not surprisingly. Deep blue state, 23 points. He went above. The state of Rhode Island would be reduced to about 22, so still a safe margin there. I believe the rest of the states would be likely, though, because, like I said, I already practiced this for the video. Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland. I think that would be likely as well, but D.C. would still be safe. I'm going to double check. So, yeah, the state of Connecticut would be around 8 points. New Jersey would be around 7 or so. Delaware would be around 5, so that'd be closer, but still just on the likely margin. Maryland would be around 6, and D.C. would be 65, so all likely states besides Massachusetts, Rhode Island, D.C. here in the Northeast. Well, we still got New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Florida. State of Ohio, I believe, would be a Dole state, actually, but it would be kind of close. You get about 51% of the vote. I believe that'd be a lean margin there in the Buckeye state. So Dole gets that one. That just leaves PA, New Hampshire, and Florida. So the state of Florida, let's go to that one. Clinton won it by 5, but this would be another Dole state. So he get about 52% of the vote. So he went about around 4 points or so, 3 points some, around 4. So that would actually be a lean state for Dole. And he's getting closer to 270, but pretty close here. This just leaves Pennsylvania and New Hampshire. They're going to decide this election. The state of New Hampshire went for Clinton by 10 points. But Dole would get around 49.37%, so he just barely squeaks a win in New Hampshire over Clinton. It would be tilt. And now Pennsylvania is going to be the deciding state. And Clinton actually won by 9. Dole will get around 50% of the vote here. It would be a narrow win, so another tilt margin. And this puts Bob Dole over the top. He wins this election if he does 10% better against Clinton this year in 96. So definitely an interesting one here, closer. But Dole does squeak out a victory, getting crucial wins in Pennsylvania and New Hampshire. That put him over the top. And a win in Florida definitely helps them. Ohio. So definitely the states that need it to win puts them over the top here. And definitely an interesting video. I'll probably make some more of these in the future. Just gotta come up with some ideas for some. Comment below if you have an idea. But I hope you enjoyed this one. Like I said, it's my first time doing a video like this. Obviously not my first time doing alternate history, but first time doing a so-and-so did this percent better. So thank you for watching. Comment below your thoughts on this. If I got any calls wrong, just let me know. I believe I got them all right. Like I said, maybe I could have gotten one or two slightly wrong, but I believe I got most of these right, accurate. Like I said, just comment below if I made any errors. But I thank you for watching. Like I said, it's fun to do this, and yeah. So like I said, I might make one of these more in the future, but we'll see. Just subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time.